Go on then.
And that is fucking Jame needs to go.
Okay.
He needs to go.
It's in 30, mate.
Right?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, for me, I don't think he did a good job transitioning his team from CSGO to CS2 at all.
Yep.
He's buying all these players that they got Electronic, which is by far the most overpaid player in the last 7 years.
Dude, Jame literally got everything any IGL could ask for. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, you can see Fame, who was a fucking
he's trash now.
monster player. I remember him in Rio. I watched, I stand behind him, and he was playing. He's a fucking beast. And now he's just a little, the little house cat that doesn't do really anything. He's just there, like a little bit here, a little bit there, just like hanging around. And then I think it comes down to the VP playstyle and the way they're running their team. It's just so boring and so inadequate to the CS2 that we are looking now. That it's more dynamic, more fast, more like swinging ways, more like doing stuff early, being proactive on the CT side instead of gambling, like doing all these things. And then they're not really doing any of those. They're just sitting there. I think they're being destroyed by that system, and that system is being run by who? It wasn't Dustin, obviously, because he got kicked. The system remained. It has to be Jame. Now, if he doesn't work, then Jame needs to go. Go anywhere you want, like, mate. But like, they need to make something happen because they have really good riflers. They have Flit. They have Norbert, who is the one of the, if not the best player, together with maybe Malbus, I guess, who transitioned from CS:GO to CS2 and kind of exploded. In a sense, to became tremendously better.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of their best players, but if not the best player, together with Flit in that team, because he's putting up numbers. He's doing this, what we call support work, but he doesn't really show all that much. He is their best player. And then you obviously have that guy. You have Flit, who is great rifle, Fame, who is a great rifle, and then you got Electronic, then which is not really the old Electronic at all. I don't see a shadow, not even a shadow of that guy anymore in the games they play. And then you have Jame, who is just now an average opper. He's not really like a top tier opper anymore. So my take is that he needs to go. They need to switch things up. They need to change the system completely. Doesn't really matter who they bring as a coach, or they bring another coach or not, or they keep the same. But something clearly needs to change in the system, not in the players. That is my take.
I feel like, unfortunately, I saw a little bit of the complexity VP1, but I think the thing, when I do watch VP, I guess it seems like this catches some teams off. It's kind of like a results-oriented thinking, but I think that at this point you need to use that kind of analysis to talk about VP, where I don't always feel like they give their individuals the most autonomy, and I feel like that's something, I feel like we're probably watching, in some ways, kind of like the faults of what was bad about Alexi B when people would talk about the fact that he micromanaged a little bit too much. I feel like it's possible that Jame is a little bit like that. Like, he really wants to unite the people, or unite his team in the certain actions that they make across the map. When in reality, I actually feel like you could easily let people off the leash a little bit more. And so maybe the plays being a little bit too sort of drawn up, like it has to get into this sort of game state, then we need to move into this next phase. I feel like that stuff is almost too predictable now, and I think that what makes certain teams a little bit more exciting is it's kind of the randomness of the individuals that allows them to just tweak things a little bit. And I think that's kind of been, when I've been talking about the faults of Falcons, I kind of see a similar sort of fault there with VP, that everything's kind of like to the book, based around this single philosophy of how he wants the round to go, A through Z, every single step of the way. And so you've made the whole Jame take before, and I wanted to wait a little bit, see if they could maybe make the new map pool work, because they were bad at overpass, or they were good at overpass, and see if Dust 2 could be a pick for them. And it's kind of proven not to be as strong. And I feel like it's clear that from what we heard before, the Electronic wants to be potentially the in-game leader of this team and actually give some of the calls. He's willing to do it. I'm actually, instead of targeting Jame, though, I'm actually probably just going to double down on my own point. For whatever reason, Electronic has just been a team ruiner. This guy is now on Cloud9. The team fell apart. Now on
fell
VP.
apart. Fell apart. It never fell apart.
Well, okay. Well, when Electronic was on the team, Shiro left the team.
Yeah.
Wait,
okay, you can say that. You can say that. But I actually think that that team that had no AWPer is one of the most underrated teams I've ever seen. Like, dude, they always were in the playoffs. Like, they were actually fucking a good team. Like, they
were good then. They were good then. But
here's the take for you. That Cloud9's way better than this VP. In fact, here's my take.
Oh, it is.
VP is one of the worst super teams I've ever fucking seen. This is a super team where everyone's supposed to be a super team component, and it's nothing. They've got nothing going on here. So, okay, you think Electronic's a team ruiner. That was the take, yeah?
Well, that was the take that I had last show, or one of the last shows, a couple of shows ago.
Is there a reason why you're giving Jame a break, though?
I still feel like it's hard. I guess probably it's more of like the Cadian reason of it's just hard to replace him. And if you're going to go with the alternative of having Electronic as the in-game leader, we just saw that on Cloud9. Shiro literally left the team because he didn't fuck with it. So that's why I don't think it's like a great option.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maui, like, you keep Jame and you keep getting this. That's the thing. Like, you need to take a risk. At least take some sort of a risk, some sort of a semi-overhaul or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yes.
Like, give somebody else the chance to create their own stuff. Because the players are good. Like, Norbert is really good right now.
That's why you're right, Kassad. That's why Jame has to go. Because here's the problem. Bro, I agree, it's hard because now you have to make someone an AWPer. So you probably have to make 2 changes or something stupid like that. Or Electronics IGL, you bring an AWPer in, right? Problem is, Russian scene full of AWPers, so you can solve that problem tomorrow. Right, here's the reason why I think Jame has to go. I just said it before. I don't know a single IGL, maybe Carrigan, who's gotten everything they wanted. If you looked at VP when they won the major and said, right, what changes would you make as the years go by? He's got every single one. Bro, he got Electronic from Na'Vi. He's got fucking, literally, Norbert got really good. Then he's got, who else? By the way, here's why that take on Reddit is fucking trash. You know the one where they just go, because this is how dumb people are. You know that famous thing everyone on Reddit goes, where they go, correlation is not causing, then they all do it 24/7. So they took a screenshot of what Axire was like when Electronic joined and he got worse. And then they took a screenshot of what Flit was like, and then the Electronic joined and he got worse. Do you know who controls Flit's destiny? Jame, you fucking morons. What's Electronic doing? Turn into him, good, start fragging. Like, Electronic's not even the IGL. Like, it's on it. By the way, here's why Jame is criminal. Because the best player on his team isn't Electronic. It is Flit. And if I'm Jame, my number one thing in England, it's we say this is the way your bread's buttered. My number one goal is get fucking Flit firing. Because I'll tell you what, Electronic, you can just fit in with the rest of them, mate. Like, we've got good players in this team already. I'm with Kassad. We had 2-star players that were called Flit and Fame. And we've sacrificed them to have Electronic get his numbers, get paid, and Norbert just do whatever. James way worse. Map pool, by the way, is always criminally bad, no matter how many players they have. And James is one of the shittest vetoers I have ever seen in professional. He might be the worst vetoer to ever win a fucking major. This guy is criminal. Like you say, brother, he doesn't even know what their win rate is on Dust 2. He's picking it into everyone. He'll pick it into Vitality, this dickhead. Like, I actually think he's criminal. Here's the problem with Jame. It's a bit like Cadian. They sort of got a bit too big for their boots. When they were on the team that's like the 10th best team, suddenly their quirks are cool and charming and sort of unique, aren't they? But when you give them the super team, this is why, by the way, Carrigan probably is the GOAT. Because Carrigan's the only one you can keep giving different pieces to, and he just gets the best out of them. Like other people, but then this guy didn't play the one I wanted, and then that Carrigan just goes, give me the pieces, let's make it work. Okay, it works, brilliant, thanks, I'll win now. Or at least be really good. So I sort of agree with Kassad. Fuck Jame, get him out of here.
One of the most important things that I kind of agree that Carrigan might be the GOAT is the fact that he adapts to any player, he adapts to any type of game. And that's his biggest strength. He doesn't have to frag. He will recognize the players that he has, and he will recognize the meta that it is, and he will play it. Jame failed to do that.
I agree.
Absolutely failed to do that. Like, in this game, there is no more first stage, second stage, third stage of the fucking round anymore. It's just you go, you open the round, and you make the mid-round call, done.
Yes.
You finish it off, and that's it. Now he is trying to do this thing where he does all these like moves, left, right, A, B, C, D, and it's just fucking not the thing. And obviously he doesn't have the players to do so. Like, and it's just that's the reason. Yeah, is he a legacy player, like you said in the last takes? Yeah, sure. But like right now, if VP wants to do something that's meaningful in the future, they need to get rid of him and get somebody else in his place. I don't know who it is or how they do it, but that sounds like, that's their problem. But right now, it's not working anymore.
By the way, there was even something in this TL match here that Carrigan said in the interview afterwards, which is, you know what, this whole tournament, FaZe's T-sides look way better. They look like they're back to their best, like snappy trade fragging, all people coming in from different angles, people following up correctly, doing the right bait in the mid-round and go to the other side and draw the rotation. Carrigan said in his interview, because they'd had all these problems in the last few months, he just said to people, right, I'm taking over. I'm not giving people space anymore. I'm just microing people. That's the difference. That's the spectrum of IGL these other guys don't have. Twist can't do that right now. He can call around himself and sort of let a mid-round state happen and let good players get kills. Jame can just do his style. These guys can't do that. That's actually the area. It's funny that everyone hated Alexi micromanaging. I think Carrigan and Alexi's micromanaging is one of their biggest strengths because they have both. They can do the mid-round and let the players play, and they can do the micro and actually get the round they want as well, because sometimes players don't know how to close around, and you just tell them what to do, and you actually might win that one, but you have to have the big brain. So, no, I think this is why these guys put a lot of these IGLs to shame.
Look at they lost 5 best of 3s in a row to Falcons, Complexity, Big, Liquid, and G2.
That's mental, yeah.
Like,
who can you beat at this point, you know?
I mean, where do you get your confidence back? By beating who? Who do you need to beat? Like, they're losing to Falcons, who are, like, by far the worst team, I think, in top 20. Well, let's see where they are right now. They are 14th somehow. No, they're 14th somehow. How are they 14th?
Because they do still win some series. They do still.
Yeah, and then, like, I mean, what series are they winning? Like, it's crazy. If you go to their results, like, I don't even know what's the meaningful series they won. Like, the meaningful one.
Go on then.
Against VP, that it's just alternate attacks and what? Gamer Legion? Like, it's just they beat ends and, like, you know, there is no meaningful win for them. They're top 14. Right now, they're by the far the worst top 20 team in the... But they're another subject. What I'm trying to say is that VP lost 5 games in a row, one of them being against Falcons, the second against struggling Complexity. It's like, with team of that caliber and the players of that caliber, that clearly means that something is way off with the system. So...
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.